It's April 26th, 2019. I'm your host, Stephen Vanover, here on the Sports Talk Line Network, where we talk sports 24/7, 365. It is NFL Draft, Day 2. Let's get started. But first, we got to do the social media love. Hey, on YouTube, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe and that little bell. We appreciate that. Give us a retweet on Twitter and a like. We appreciate the social media love. It really helps everything go around. And don't forget what you do on Facebook. We need you, man. All right, I'm here today with Spinksy, Cowboys draft expert extraordinaire. Spinksy, how you doing?
G'day, Van. Thanks for having me.
All right, always a pleasure, man. Well, we went through the first round yesterday, and we're going to take a moment here and kind of recap it a little bit. We appreciate you calling in here. And what I wanted to actually ask you about was, instead of going down pick by pick or anything like that, just a few stories that came out of the draft and what your take on it is, specifically the Cards front office. Okay, let's start there with the first pick. They tried every way they could to trade that pick, waited to the last moment, took the QB after they swore that Rosen was their guy. What kind of a position are they in now? Are they just going to hang on to Rosen? Are they going to trade him for nothing? What?
I think word has come in this morning that they may have traded him to the Dolphins for pick 48. So looks like he's on the move, which is probably a good thing for Rosen. And I think the Cardinals have probably got away with it there. I think once they took Murray with number 1, everyone knew that they sort of had no leg to stand on. And
right.
The fact now that Rosen's moved on is probably a good thing for both sides.
Okay, well, the next thing I want to ask you about, and yeah, I kind of agree with that, is basically the Raiders. All right, now they got some good players. I don't think there's any doubting that they got some good players. But what I'm curious about is people are crowing saying, wow, they replaced these Hall of Famers, these all-pros with good players. I don't see this as a step up. They're going to be a better team than they were last year, but they didn't really replace that talent level, did they?
Absolutely not. I think I mentioned it earlier on. I think last year they had 13 sacks as a team, and they should have taken Josh Allen with the 4th pick. Instead, they went with Ferrell, which I think he's good, but I think he was taken too early. I think they could have potentially had him with the 24th pick. I don't know that they've necessarily improved on their team.
Yeah, I understand that they tried to trade down out of the 4th, but they didn't want to trade far. And they just couldn't quite get the dance partner with it, so they went ahead and pulled the trigger at 4. So, it was what it was. All right, the next thing I want to talk to you about is the New York Giants draft haul, shall we say. And it's, like it or hate it, that they got the players they were going after. But with Daniel Jones, all right, excuse me, Mr. Jones, the new QB, in the last 20 years, 58 QBs have been drafted in the first round. In yards per attempt at 6.2, he is 54th on the list, only beating out Kyle Bowler, Patrick Ramsey, and Jake Locker. How do you think this bodes for his future in the NFL?
I'm shocked. I'm still shocked. I was shocked yesterday. I was shocked when I saw your stat this morning, and I'm still shocked now. As a Cowboys fan, I'm extremely happy. I think they've sort of shot themselves in the foot. To not take Haskins when he was there is just, I can't understand that. And I know certain coaches and guys like certain individuals, but I don't think Jones is the man going forward.
Yeah, it's a mystery. Now, I do understand that basically the Manning family QB guru, which is head coach David Catliff of Duke, and, they were in close contact with him, and that greatly influenced their decision here. But, it's a head scratcher for me as well. But now let's stay in the NFC East, which you know a lot about. And there's a pick that isn't getting a lot of talk, but I think it was a pretty awesome pick. Round 1, pick 22, the Philadelphia Eagles, Andre Dillard. Talk to me about that and tell me what you think about it.
Yeah, that was a great choice. I had Dillard going top 30, so but pretty upset that he's with the Eagles and we'll have to face him twice a year. But I think the Eagles have done really well with that choice. I think he certainly fills a hole they had, which will be handy, and I think he's going to hurt the Cowboys for years to come.
Yeah, so he's the next Jason Peters, right?
I think so. Yeah.
That's scary, man. That's scary. Okay, well, now I'm going to go to a team that I think did the best in the draft yesterday in the NFC East. And I think that's the Washington Redskins. Pick 15, they got Dwayne Haskins. Pick 26, they traded back up and got Montez Sweat. Snacked him right from the Oakland Raiders, I understand. Talk to me about what you think about their draft.
I was extremely impressed with the Redskins. I think they're going to be a force in the NFC going forward the next few years. To take Sweat at 26 was just a beautiful thing. I think to trade up ahead of the Raiders was a fantastic move, and they did really well, especially to get Haskins as well. I don't think in their wildest dreams they would have thought Haskins would fall to them at 15.
No, I certainly didn't see that happening. I really didn't. The draft just unfolded for them beautifully. And as I understand, Daniel Snyder was in there trying to mess up, but the coaching staff and the front office held firm, and it worked out for them. All right. So anyhow, here's some players left on the board. Man, you've looked at so many of these guys, Spinksy. You have intimate knowledge on a lot of them. I'm going to call out the guys, and if you could just give me a quick rundown of them. These are guys that are still available at the top of round 2. Jawan Taylor, Florida offensive tackle.
Yeah, that bloke is incredible. I actually had him potentially going top 20, and the fact that he's still there is a bit dumbfounding to me. He fits a need for several sides, and I think he won't be there too long. Thinking potentially the Cardinals might take him early.
Yeah, that's what I heard. That's what I'm hearing. So, all right. Another guy that's still on the board that had a first round grade for some people, et cetera, but he's definitely talented. DK Metcalf, wide receiver, Mississippi.
Yeah, every year there's always that one guy who falls. I think Metcalf was certainly helped by his combine times and the size of him. But yeah, every year there's always a guy who falls far, and I think he could be that guy. I can't see him falling out of the second round, but the fact that they took Hollywood in front of him, and I think there was another wide receiver as well, it doesn't bode well.
Yeah, the Patriots took Neandre, I think. All right. Greedy Williams, LSU cornerback. That's a guy I'm shocked is still on the board, but he's there. Talk to me about him.
As an LSU fan myself, I'm really high on him. I think he's done really well his last few years, and he is rather small, though. I saw him walk out early in the draft yesterday, and he looks really small. So I wouldn't be surprised. I don't think he'll be there come the end of the second round, but there's a couple of good corners out there still, but he should go fairly soon.
All right, then there's a couple of wide receivers sitting there, and I don't know, man. They're different wide receivers, but they have similar grades. Paris Campbell, Ohio State, and A.J. Brown, Mississippi. Which one of those two guys do you like better?
Probably Paris Campbell. He's very fast, very, very fast. Guys like him are hard to find. Like it's easy to catch. It's easy to teach you how to catch and how to run routes and stuff, but speed can't be taught. And I think a guy like that needs to go. I think John Ross is still sort of waiting in the wings with the Bengals, but I think a guy like him, he needs to be on a team soon.
All right. Sticking with the wide receivers, because there's a lot of talent here in the second round. Deebo Samuels. All right, South Carolina wide receiver. He's a guy that's popping up on a lot of radars right now.
Yeah, I saw one yesterday that had Deebo going in the first round, and he's probably not a top 4, top 5 receiver, but he certainly has the talent. And I think we're going to see a run of wide receivers early.
All right, now let's flip over to a position that I highly suspect you hope doesn't get touched until late in the second round. Safety. There's a group of safeties available out there right now, right?
Yeah, I thought Chauncey Gardner-Johnson would go to the Seahawks. As, they moved around a bit and ended up with 2 picks in the first round. So I figured he would go there. There's the guy I'm huge on is Rocky Sin. So I expect him to go shortly. But like you said, there's a lot of good talent there. We just sort of need to see where they end up.
Okay, and let's jump to a subject that I'm pretty sure you know fairly well. We're going to delve into some team prognostication here, and we're going to do it with the Dallas Cowboys, man. All right, who are the Dallas Cowboys going to be looking at with number 58?
Oh, there's been so much talk all week. It's starting to get out of hand now. Look, we probably need a safety. I'd be happy with someone like Justin Lane. They're covered sort of at cornerback. I thought potentially Dexter Lawrence might fall that far, but he went at 17. So look, I'd be happy with a safety. If we took Justin Lane, even I'd be happy with Lane. Yeah.
All right, what if Jalen Ferguson is available there, which a lot of people think that he will be?
I do like him. I just think he lacks a bit of oomph, if that makes any sense. His pro day wasn't that good. He wasn't that good at the combine. I just think he struggles when the spotlight is on him. I think if you get him back into his team environment, he can do really well. But when the spotlight's on him and he's the individual, I think he struggles.
All right, last question I'm going to hit you with is from the first round, man. Which pick for which team just jumps out at you and you went like, damn, that's a great pick for that team. That fits. That is a great thing right there. Which one?
I had 2. Garrett Bradbury going to the Vikings at 18. Mm-hmm. I picked that pretty much for the last 6 months. I thought that was a good fit. But Brian Burns to the Panthers at 16, I think that was the best one. The Panthers have improved their side immensely with him there, and I think he'll be a force.
All right, man, that's pretty exciting. I really want to thank you for your time here. Tell the fans listening, we're going to have a lot more of Spinksy. We're going to have Woolsey come on. Connor Livesey might be on tonight. We're not certain. We're going to have quite a few of the Sports Talk Line personalities in as we cover the draft live. So be sure and check back with us here in about, 15, 20 minutes, a half an hour. We're going to go right at the right when the draft kicks off. We will be live covering it, breaking it down, looking at the players, talking about them, and discussing whether it was a good pick, bad pick, and who's left on the board and where it's going. It's going to be a lot of fun. Spinksy, as always, a pleasure. Before you go signing off, please tell people how they can find you on Twitter.
Guys, you can find me on Twitter at Spinksy NFL. I'll be on there all day. This is going to be so much fun. Can't wait.
Oh, yeah, man. And be sure and check out his work on Sports Talkline. That's nfldraft.sportstalkline.com, where he has a ton of profiles that you've been working on for months on these guys, watching film, breaking them down, who does what. It's a great read. Spinksy, we really appreciate you being on here. And we'll be hoping that everyone's listening to this will be checking back for the live NFL draft coverage. And until then, listen like you play with intensity.